Welcome to our deep dive today into the world of Napoleon Hill and the power of imagination. You've shared some of his work with us, especially focusing on Think and Grow Rich. So we're going to explore his insights on how a powerful imagination can unlock your potential for success and happiness. I'm particularly intrigued by this idea that everything we desire already exists within us.
Yeah, it's a concept that can seem mystical at first glance. But Hill was adamant that this wasn't just wishful thinking. He presented a practical framework for harnessing this inner power.
Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit. When we talk about imagination in this context, it's not just about, daydreaming, right?
So
What did Hill mean by a powerful imagination?
he saw imagination as the seed of all creation. It's the ability to conceive of something beyond your current reality, to visualize it with such clarity that it feels almost tangible. He'll believe this is the first step in manifesting your desires.
So it's about going beyond just vaguely wishing for things
Mm.
and really painting a detailed picture of what you want in your mind.
Precisely. Think about the Wright brothers, for example. They envisioned themselves flying long before they actually built a plane that could get off the ground.
Yeah, I remember seeing a quote from Wilbur Wright where he said, "I confess that in 1901, I said to my brother Orville that man would not fly for 50 years. It's amazing to think that just a few years later, they defied their own skepticism and achieved what many thought was impossible.
Their success wasn't just about technical skill, it was fueled by their unwavering vision, their ability to see beyond the limitations of their time. Hill argued that this kind of imagination isn't just for inventors or entrepreneurs. It's a faculty we all possess and can cultivate to achieve our goals.
This makes me think about Hill's concept of the mind as a receiving and broadcasting station.
Yeah,
Did he believe we're literally transmitting our thoughts into the universe and attracting back what we focus on?
that's how many interpret his work. And it's fascinating to consider how his ideas align with concepts in modern quantum physics about the interconnected nature of reality. While Hill didn't delve into the scientific explanations, he was convinced that the subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined.
So if we're constantly dwelling on negative thoughts, worries and fears, we're essentially feeding our subconscious mind a steady diet of negativity.
Exactly. And the subconscious then works to bring those negative images into reality. Hill emphasized the importance of guarding our thoughts and consciously choosing to focus on what we want rather than what we fear.
This reminds me of his concept of the definite chief aim. It sounds like having a clearly defined goal is crucial to this process. Did Hill offer any specific guidance on how to formulate a definite chief aim that would resonate with the subconscious mind?
He was very specific about this. He said it must be a burning desire, something you're truly passionate about, not just a vague wish. And he stressed the importance of writing it down in clear, concise language, visualizing it daily, and even repeating it aloud as an affirmation.
Did he share any examples of people who effectively used this technique to achieve remarkable results?
Throughout his writings, Hill profiled numerous successful individuals, many of whom attributed their achievements to the power of a definite chief aim. Henry Ford, for instance, was known to have carried a detailed vision of his first automobile in his wallet long before he had the resources to build it.
Wow, that's incredible. It sounds like he treated his definite chief aim almost like a blueprint for his future.
And he remained unwavering in his belief that he would achieve it, even when faced with skepticism and setbacks.
This brings us to another concept Hill emphasized, faith in the unseen. I'm curious to delve deeper into what he meant by that. Was he referring to religious faith or something more expansive?
Hill's definition of faith went beyond traditional religious beliefs. He described it as an unshakable inner conviction, a certainty that what you desire is already real in the realm of potential, even if it hasn't yet manifested in the physical world.
So it's about trusting that the vision you hold in your mind has the power to become reality, even if you can't see the path yet.
Yeah, he compared it to the faith a farmer has when he plants a seed. He doesn't see the plant immediately, but he trusts the natural process of growth. In the same way, Hill believed we need to cultivate that same level of faith in our own creative power.
Did he believe this kind of faith could be developed, or was it something you either had or didn't have?
He argued that faith could be strengthened through practice, much like a muscle. One of his key recommendations was to deliberately focus on positive thoughts and beliefs, even when doubt or fear try to creep in.
So it's about consciously choosing to feed our minds with thoughts that align with our desires rather than allowing negativity to take root.
Precisely. And this leads us to one of Hill's most powerful techniques, autosuggestion. He believed every thought we entertain is a suggestion to our subconscious mind, and we have the power to choose which suggestions we allow to take hold.
It's almost like we're constantly programming our own minds, whether we're aware of it or not.
That's a powerful way to think about it. And Hill believed that through deliberate autosuggestion, we can reprogram our subconscious mind to align with our definite chief aim and attract the success and happiness we desire.
This is all starting to make sense. But I'm wondering, what about the role of action? Is it enough to just imagine and believe? Or is there something more required to bring these visions into reality?
That's a key question, and Hill was very clear that action is essential. He didn't advocate for passive dreaming. He believed that inspired action, driven by a clear vision and unwavering faith, is what ultimately bridges the gap between imagination and reality.
So it's about having both the vision and the willingness to take consistent steps towards making that vision a reality.
Absolutely. And Hill offered some intriguing insights into how to cultivate the persistence and resilience needed to overcome the inevitable obstacles and setbacks that arise on the path to achieving any worthy goal.
Well, I'm definitely eager to hear more about that. This deep dive is already proving to be incredibly insightful. You mentioned that Hill had insights on persistence and resilience. I find that so many people get excited about a vision but quickly lose steam when things get tough. What did Hill have to say about overcoming these challenges?
He believed persistence was absolutely vital, the bridge between imagination and reality, as he called it. And he emphasized that it's not just about, gritting your teeth and pushing through, but about understanding that setbacks are inevitable and actually part of the process.
So rather than seeing obstacles as failures, we should view them as opportunities for growth.
Precisely. Hill saw failure not as an endpoint, but as feedback. He encouraged people to analyze their setbacks, learn from them, and adjust their course accordingly. He often cited Thomas Edison's famous quote about the light bulb: "I haven't failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work."
Yeah, it's a great reminder that even the most brilliant minds face setbacks. What's important is how we respond to them.
Absolutely. And Hill believed that maintaining a positive mindset, even in the face of challenges, was crucial. He argued that negative emotions like fear and doubt can actually impede our progress.
You touched on fear earlier. Didn't Hill identify 6 specific fears that he believed could hold people back from achieving their full potential?
He did. He called them the 6 basic fears: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. He believed these fears are deeply rooted in the human psyche and can manifest as anxieties and insecurities that prevent us from taking risks and pursuing our dreams.
It's interesting that he included fears that seem both internal, like fear of criticism, and external, like fear of poverty. Did he suggest ways to overcome these fears?
He believed that understanding the nature of these fears was the first step in neutralizing their power. He also stressed the importance of cultivating faith as an antidote to fear. Remember, he defined faith as a deep inner knowing, a certainty that what we desire is already real in the realm of potential. When we have that level of conviction, fear loses its grip.
So it's about shifting our focus from what we fear to what we truly desire.
They're taking action in alignment with that desire, even when fear whispers doubts. This is where Hill's concept of the mastermind group comes into play. He believed that surrounding ourselves with supportive, like-minded individuals could bolster our courage and determination.
So finding your tribe, so to speak, people who inspire you, challenge you, and hold you accountable to your vision.
Exactly. He described a mastermind group as an alliance of individuals, each with their own unique talents and perspectives, who come together to support each other's growth and success.
It's fascinating how many of Hill's ideas seem to resonate with contemporary thinking about collaboration and the power of community.
His work was ahead of its time in many ways. He understood that we're not meant to achieve greatness in isolation. We need the support and inspiration of others to fuel our journey.
And speaking of fueling our journey, you mentioned earlier that Hill believed in the importance of infusing our vision with emotion. Can you elaborate on that?
He argued that the subconscious mind responds most powerfully to emotions. If we approach our goals with apathy or doubt, we're sending mixed signals. But if we can tap into the feelings of excitement, passion, and gratitude, we amplify the power of our vision.
So it's not enough to just intellectually understand our goals. We need to feel them deeply.
He even suggested practicing gratitude in advance, acting as if our desires have already been fulfilled. This might seem counterintuitive, but he believed it created a powerful, energetic alignment that accelerated manifestation.
It reminds me of the idea of visualization, which Hill also emphasized.
He was a strong proponent of visualization. He recommended spending time each day vividly imagining your desired outcomes. engaging all your senses to make the experience feel as real as possible.
Did he offer any specific guidance on how to make visualization most effective? I've tried it in the past, but sometimes my mind wanders or I find it difficult to maintain a clear picture.
Hill recommended practicing visualization consistently, ideally at times when the mind is most receptive, such as right before sleep and upon waking. He also stressed the importance of choosing a quiet space where you can relax and focus without distractions.
That makes sense. It's about creating a mental sanctuary where you can truly immerse yourself in the vision. Did he suggest any specific techniques for holding the vision steady?
He recommended creating a detailed mental picture, engaging all the senses. What do you see, hear, feel, smell, even taste in this envisioned reality? The more vivid the experience, the more powerful the impact on the subconscious mind.
So it's about treating it almost like a waking dream, immersing yourself in the experience as fully as possible.
And repeating this exercise regularly, as if you were rehearsing for a performance. He believed this consistent mental rehearsal would imprint the desired outcome on the subconscious mind, making its manifestation more likely.
It's almost like we're training our minds to see the world through the lens of our vision, noticing opportunities and resources that we might have overlooked before.
Precisely. And this brings us to one of Hill's most intriguing concepts, the idea of infinite intelligence. He believed that beyond our individual minds exists a vast reservoir of wisdom, creativity, and potential that we can tap into through our imagination and faith.
This sounds almost mystical. What exactly did he mean by infinite intelligence?
He described it as a universal source of all knowledge and power, accessible to anyone who aligns their consciousness with it. He believed that many breakthroughs in science, art, and business originated from individuals tapping into this source, often through moments of sudden inspiration or intuition.
So it's not just about the power of our own individual minds, but about connecting to something much greater.
He saw it as a collaborative process. We bring our individual desires, visions, and efforts, and then we open ourselves to guidance and inspiration from this universal source.
This reminds me of the concept of flow state that athletes and artists often describe, that feeling of being completely absorbed in the present moment where effortlessness and inspiration seem to merge.
Yehola believed that by cultivating a deep connection with infinite intelligence, we can access this flow state more readily and experience a sense of alignment and ease in our creative endeavors. He also emphasized that this connection can help us overcome the fear of failure, knowing that we're never truly alone in our pursuits.
This is all incredibly inspiring, but I can't help but wonder, what about those times when we put in the effort, hold the vision, and still face setbacks or disappointment? How did Hill address the possibility of things not working out as planned?
That's a great question, and
Yeah.
Hill was very realistic about the challenges we all face. He didn't sugarcoat things. He understood that even with the most powerful mindset and unwavering faith, there would be times when things didn't go according to plan. But he offered a powerful reframing of what we perceive as failure.
This is what I love about Hill's work. He doesn't offer empty platitudes. He acknowledges the complexities of life while still empowering us to shape our reality. So how did he suggest we approach those moments when we feel like we've fallen short?
He encouraged us to view those moments not as failures, but as feedback. He believed that every setback, every obstacle, contains valuable lessons that can guide us towards our ultimate goals.
So rather than getting discouraged, we should look for the wisdom embedded in these challenges.
Precisely. He believed that even what we perceive as negative experiences can serve as catalysts for growth, prompting us to reevaluate our approach, refine our strategies, and ultimately emerge stronger and more resilient.
This makes me think about the importance of self-awareness and honesty. Are we willing to take an honest look at our role in the situation, even when it's uncomfortable?
Hill believed that self-reflection was crucial. He encouraged people to regularly examine their thoughts, beliefs, and actions, identifying any patterns or habits that might be hindering their progress.
So it's about taking ownership of our experience, both the successes and the setbacks, and using those experiences as fuel for growth.
And recognizing that growth is a continuous process. There's no finish line. Even when we achieve a specific goal, there's always another level to strive for, another challenge to embrace.
It sounds like Hill believed in the importance of embracing a growth mindset, a willingness to continuously learn, adapt, and evolve.
Absolutely. He saw life as an ongoing journey of self-discovery and expansion. He believed that by harnessing the power of our imagination, cultivating unwavering faith, and taking consistent action, We could not only achieve our goals, but also become the best versions of ourselves.
This has been an incredibly insightful exploration of Hill's ideas so far. I'm particularly intrigued by his concept of aligning our identity with our desires. Can you delve deeper into what he meant by that?
He believed that you cannot outperform your self-image. In other words, if you see yourself as limited, unworthy, or incapable of achieving greatness, those beliefs will become self-fulfilling prophecies.
So it's not just about changing our thoughts and actions, but about fundamentally shifting how we see ourselves.
He emphasized that successful individuals embody the identity of success before it manifests externally. They see themselves as leaders, achievers, creators, even before the outer world recognizes them as such.
It's like they're stepping into the role they desire and allowing their actions to flow from that identity.
Precisely. And Hill believed that one of the most powerful ways to shift our self-image is through the words we use. He argued that our language has a profound impact on our thoughts and beliefs.
So those negative self-talk spirals, those "I can't, I'm not good enough" pronouncements, they're actually doing real damage.
He saw them as negative affirmations, reinforcing a limited self-image. To shift our reality, he said we need to align our speech with our desired vision.
Some more "I am successful, opportunities are coming my way, and I'm worthy of abundance" kind of self-talk.
Exactly. It's about consciously choosing words that empower and uplift, rather than limit and diminish. It's about speaking to ourselves as we would speak to someone we love and admire.
It's like we're painting a picture of our reality with our words. And we have the power to choose the colors, the brushstrokes, the entire composition.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And Hill believed that this conscious use of language is a key element in manifesting the life we desire.
This deep dive is already giving me so much to think about and apply to my own life. I'm eager to hear your final thoughts on Hill's work and what key takeaways you think are most important for our listeners. This has been a fascinating journey through Napoleon Hill's ideas. It's striking how relevant his work remains today, even though Think and Grow Rich was published nearly a century ago.
It's a testament to the enduring power of these principles. Hill tapped into something fundamental about human nature, our innate capacity to shape our reality through our thoughts, beliefs, and actions.
You've shared so many insightful takeaways from his work. Is there a particular concept or principle that you think is most crucial for our listeners to grasp?
I think the most empowering takeaway is that we are not passive bystanders in our own lives. We have the power to become conscious creators of our reality. Hill's work offers a roadmap, a set of tools and strategies that we can use to harness the incredible power of our minds to achieve our goals and live more fulfilling lives.
Yeah, he certainly didn't shy away from emphasizing the power of the mind. It's a consistent thread throughout his work.
And it's a message that can be profoundly liberating. Once we truly understand that our thoughts have the power to shape our reality, we become more mindful of what we allow into our minds. We begin to question limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones.
It's like we're taking back control of the narrative, both internally and externally.
Exactly. And this shift in perspective can have a ripple effect throughout our lives. It can impact our relationships, our careers, our health, our overall sense of well-being.
Yeah, it's not just about achieving material success, although Hill certainly emphasized that. It's about living a life that is aligned with our deepest values and aspirations.
He believed that true success encompasses more than just wealth or fame. It's about living a life of purpose, meaning, and contribution. It's about using our talents and abilities to make a positive impact on the world.
You mentioned earlier that Hill encouraged us to connect with a power greater than ourselves, what he called infinite intelligence. Do you think this spiritual dimension is essential to his philosophy?
I think it's a key element, although it's often overlooked or misinterpreted. Hill wasn't advocating for any specific religion or dogma. He was pointing to a universal principle, a source of wisdom and creativity that transcends our limited human understanding.
So it's about recognizing that we're part of something bigger than ourselves, that we're not alone in our journey.
He believed that by aligning ourselves with this universal power, we tap into a source of strength, guidance, and inspiration that can help us overcome any obstacle.
It's a reminder that even when we feel lost or uncertain, there's a deeper intelligence at work, guiding us towards our highest potential.
And Hill believed that the more we cultivate this connection, through practices like meditation, prayer, or simply spending time in nature, the more we open ourselves to receiving insights and guidance that can lead us to extraordinary breakthroughs.
This deep dive has been a powerful reminder that we all possess the potential for greatness. It's within each of us to create the life we desire. It's not always easy, but it's certainly possible.
And Hill's work offers a timeless guide, a set of principles that can help us navigate the challenges, overcome the doubts, and ultimately manifest the life of our dreams.
Well, thank you for sharing your insights with us today. It's been a truly enriching conversation.
It's been my pleasure. I hope our listeners are inspired to delve deeper into Hill's work and discover the transformative power of his ideas.
And to all our listeners out there, we encourage you to embrace the power of your imagination, cultivate unwavering faith in yourself and your vision, and take consistent action towards your dreams. As Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep creating the reality you desire.